the traders cannot travel. Because once they travel, you have to use your money to pay for hotels. There is a COVID. Now, if you are checking the Ghana system, you will know and you will bear with us that Nana Akufo-Addo government, MPP government are moving forward. NDC people, I have a pieces of advice for you. You delay us in 2008, but you cannot stop us from winning the 2024 elections. It is a movement. It is a movement.
Well, good morning. So as you do know, the New Patriotic Party is organizing a very, very important event today. We're talking close to 6,000 delegates who will be gathering, meeting, converging and convening at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium here at Legon, Accra, the capital city of Ghana, if you're watching us outside Ghana. That's the biggest event that's happening today. The New Patriotic Party is charting a fresh forward following its abysmal and its poor outing in the 2024 elections. The party has to do some introspection. The party has to look within and look at what went wrong, what went right, and how does the party regroup, how does the party regather, and how does the party strengthen its core base going into the 2023 elections. That's the kind of exercise that it will be conducting, where it brainstorms on several proposals for the amendments as the party attempts to sort of rebuild, which is its theme for this event. It says the theme is rebuilding together with our values. Now, joining us this morning on Metro TV is a live coverage of this event. Well-seasoned, well-positioned, and well-abled personalities will be joining us on the show today. Now, Inside Pages, which usually comes your way every Saturday from 8 to 10, has also been reset. Not reset in the terms of the political connotation, but we're doing a different kind of Inside Pages today because we're extending it to 12 p.m. And then my colleague, my affable colleague, Ani Efwa-Ampofo, will be taking over. My name is Awudu Moro, or in case you're watching the show for the first time, this is a special edition of Inside Pages. I want to say big thanks to Derek, Adote, and the rest of the crew. Michael, we'll call him Jesus here, he's our spiritual friend, spiritual colleague here, and then the rest, I will train the rest of you. Jemima, who will be helping us, and also Stephen, who will be helping us to make sure that we comprehensively and successfully put this together. So stay with us. This is Metro's TV coverage of the NPP's Delegate Conference. It has kick-started and will bring you all that you need to know about this conference. Please stay with us.
Bedum tamaso je watch na learning missy watch and learn mekwaya ma besisia abozege akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman hey but I didn't mean oh sorry she knew her old days eji dabio bibi wom ready hey bibi wom Ajay, I'll cause some discomfort. Uncle, sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share nanda danya was mosquito call is to do woman. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima a dronum and sana ko dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our Nest Cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukro in the Bomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
DSTV means choosing.
Amazing acting.
Best friending while streaming.
Front row at the gaming and super fanning while on the going. Winning. Binging and blockbustering. While others are white ricing, you're jolloffing.
This looks so good.
With something for everyone, anything is possible when you're DSTVing. Start today with all sorts of packages to match your...
So many of the programs that we brought, we thought about them when we were in opposition. Free senior high school, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, the digital agenda, all of these programs that are our flagship programs, we thought about them in opposition, so that when we came to government, we were ready to roll them out. That's why we've been able to do. I want you to...
And as I'm fancy the brema, my son to the point, sir. I go craft you at the initial and no cross it, Minidi. Menyan with that stage. And think at least a young mammy to be. I'm a tobacco pie, some young near me being say. Near could run on, now many party me view. I think I met mature in me family. So her Ghana political party, political history. I can't say UGCC. But if you 47 and 69 was there. Time nearly power for Ghana. 2 years, 3 months, Buzia time. Me, 69, maybe 30 years, and be a member of parliament. Be a founding member of Progress Party. 2 years, 3 months, Buzia, I am deputy foreign minister. I jump on 2 years, with them sick. Me too, my name the Asha Fort prison with them 1 year, 3 months. Something that day, of course, we moved behind another detention. But I know I did build a year. From 72 January, I jump on 2 years side, the tradition. Yeah, more power BOR that till 2001. Me, I'm a crane departing by power. 2 terms. Ghana, we didn't see. Anyway, then and there. The ability to say, a womb, a prepare womb. Na bibi se be kwana nyame ada o ma me chona ya beg no me kra. Mentia
The new patriotic party will be decided here tomorrow. The highest decision-making body of our party will be discussing key issues concerning the party, namely, reports that will be brought in by the General Secretary of the party, matters of accounts that the Treasurer will be bringing, the Chairman's message to the party, and also will be listening to the 2 big speeches. Our two former presidents, the New Patriotic Party, were blessed to have 2 former presidents who have discharged their various duties to our country creditably. And so they will be speaking to us. And then the second part of the program will be the amendments to our constitution. And that is a key item on our agenda tomorrow. Some 300 amendments that have been brought forward. So the motions will be put out here tomorrow for party people to deliberate and vote upon. So all in all, I think that all is set for tomorrow. We're hoping to start early, and we're trying to get our delegates to come here as early as 7, and by 8 or so we'll start. At last check before we start, talking, I understand that almost all the delegates from all the 16 regions are here. Earlier in the day, I met with delegates from outside the country, the diasporan external members of our party. I met people from the UK, I met people from the United States, Canada, and other places. So we're ready, and the conference will be in full swing tomorrow morning.
There's currently a legal challenge seeking to halt the conference. How is the committee responding to this?
Well, I've heard about that, but I've been busy about organizing matters here. Others are busy about other things, so I'm not sure what is going on over there. But what I can assure you is that the New Patriotic Party is converging here tomorrow, and that is a certainty. But I just have a word to say to individuals that I hear about 2 or so people have gone to court with some injunction on the party. I think that it's not necessary. In the nature of things, those people should not be members of the party, because the party's National Council has taken a decision, and our constitution enjoins you, a member who says you have gone to court to injunct the party, to abide by that law or by that decision. And so you are conflicted. You are no longer a member, in my view, if you are going by the constitution, that as a member, when the party takes a decision, you must abide by that decision and uphold it publicly. In other words, defend that decision publicly. And so if you turn around and you are taking the party to a decision on the basis of a party collective decision to move in a certain direction, I think you, such individual, you lost your right of being a member of the party. You understand? So for me, that process is null and void in my view, because if you hold to our political party's decision as a matter of constitutional law in our party, you lose the right of being a member of our party, and on that basis it's not consequential in my view.
Let's talk about security. What measures is the committee putting in place to ensure that we're going to have maximum security tomorrow? Looking at the fact that we're going to assemble some 5,000 and over people down here tomorrow.
Security has been very good. I want to commend the police. Minutes ago, I was telling someone that their showing in Ayawaso, Abrekumanov, was completely abysmal. But then their meetings with us, their demonstration of professionalism and commitment to doing professional work tomorrow has been admirable. I've been in all the meetings that we've had with the security, and I have nothing but admiration for them. And on that basis, I'm confident that tomorrow they would acquit themselves creditably. And we also have put out very clear information to our members that is a strictly accreditation process tomorrow. If you have accreditation, you'll be let in, and if you don't have accreditation, you will not be let in. We have taken great pain to put together a production tomorrow that would make it available, the proceedings here available to anyone, either on television screens, on Metro TV, on many of your platforms, on social media, so people can watch it. And so you don't need to be here. Sometimes if you're at home, you have a better view than even those who are here, because if you see the stadium, those who are here will see certain parts of it and all that, and the distractions here that people are talking and all of that. So when you are watching from home, you have that individual attention to be able to watch. So we're encouraging people not to troop here when they don't have accreditation to be part of it, so that we can focus and get a business done tomorrow cleanly, and then we'll leave early. So security-wise, we're good. Health-wise, a lot of effort has gone in. We've gone through extensive, information sessions with all the delegates who are coming, how to be orderly and how to take care of ourselves to make sure that we come here and go in one piece. So I think that everything is set, and hopefully would leave here tomorrow in peace with great excitement.
Will the Professor Michael Quay report be taken into consideration tomorrow?
No, that's not an agenda. To the extent that anything happens that bears any reflection of that report, it will be some of the amendment that has come, and the leading amendment that would be taken tomorrow is in the form of expanding our electoral college. That's a key recommendation from the Professor Okoye committee report, and that has been factored in and made into an amendment to the constitution, so that hitherto the limited electoral college would now be expanded to include people like former MPs, former MMDCs, former constituency, police station, regional, national executives will now be included in our electoral college. Of course, additional room is made at the polling station to add 2 and 4 at the electoral area coordinator level, so it'll be 5 instead of the current 1. So the expansion of our electoral college is a direct recommendation from the Professor Michael Quay report, and so to the extent that that comes into any consideration at all, it will be in the form of that amendment proposal.
Are we expecting any other political parties to attend this conference?
Yes, I understand that we invited our friends across the aisle, the NDC and the other political parties. We're sure they will be here. It's been a tradition of the political parties to invite, to demonstrate that we are brothers, first of all. We're Ghanaians, and we're seeking in our various political parties to advance the good cause of our country from different political, ideological views. So we're not enemies, and we hope that they will be here tomorrow to join with us to advance the beauty of our democracy tomorrow.
Let's talk about accommodation for the delegates coming from outside the let's say the event grounds, the Greater Accra. In terms of accommodation, what preparations has the committee done?
Well, as we speak, every delegate who has come from any part of the country right now perhaps resting in their hotel rooms, in their hostel rooms, and so as far as accommodation, everybody has been provided for.
Are we expecting any big weeks from the party to?
Well, certainly, a conference like this, we would expect His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a true party person. He's never missed occasions like this. But on tomorrow's conference, he's not in town, and we've known that he will not be in town. But just that the party is on a tight schedule, so we have to move ahead. His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor, a great, elephant who ought to be here.
You're watching Metro TV's live coverage of the ongoing National Delegates Conference, actually, not a Congress, a conference of the New Patriotic Party. Now, you notice that even when it comes to the publishing or the publication of today's event, some of the media houses are talking Congress, some are saying conference. Perhaps we'll try and get some more clarity this morning, maybe once and for all, when the NPP chaps join us this morning. In fact, one of them is here. Alfred Kumi Abebio Kumi is with us here. He's also popularly known as Adenta Kumi. He's one of the finest youth activists of the New Patriotic Party. He's joined us this morning for a conversation. Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
My brother Moro, good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers all over the world.
Great.
Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show this morning.
Wonderful.
I just came back from the grounds where we are having our National Delegate Conference. Everything is looking well. I heard there was an injunction yesterday, and it was laughable, because if it's like you are telling the National Executive Committee, which is a decision-making body of the New Patriotic Party, not to meet and have decisions that will develop its party. Okay. What is going to happen today is all about decisions that you need the highest decision maker of the party to make.
Right.
And that the highest decision-making body of the New Patriotic Party is the National Delegates Conference, which largely comprises of constituency executives.
All right.
which you have over 3,000 of them.
I'll come back to you to tell me more about what is going to happen today for persons who may not necessarily have been following this event or the lead up to this event. What is going to happen today? Why is it important? And how things are going to look like at the University of Ghana's Sports Stadium. Well, let me also say that Theophilus Jimega, right? Jimega.
Yes.
Okay, so Theophilus Jimega Jr., he's representing the NDC. The NDC are very close friends with the NPP. So when the NPP are holding big events, the NDC would express an opinion. And same, if the NDC is holding any big event, the NPP would express their opinion on what they make of how the event is panning out, is playing out. And so those of you who would say, well, it's an NPP event, why is an NDC man here? Don't worry, they're friends. They're very good friends. Forget about all the noise that you hear on air. When Mr. Theophilus Jimega Jr. lives here, he'll buy, Alfred some wache, perhaps at antimony. So don't be deceived by the banter that sometimes we see on radio, on TV. Let me also say that Mr. Kwabena Sapon will be joining at some point. He's also a stalwart of the New Patriotic Party. He's also one of the founding members of the New Patriotic Party. And also at some point, Dr. Palgrave Boache Dankwa, he is a lecturer, UPSA, also with the New Patriotic Party. He will also be joining us at some point. And also, H.S. Kanku is an associate professor, University of Media, Arts and Communications. He's been writing quite vociferously and copiously as far as parties' internal events such as the primaries and congresses are concerned. And when we have him join us, I'll tell you more about, I'll give you some more information about his background so that you would understand where he's coming from with his analysis. Nanaya Sapon will also be joining at some point. He's a political lead, or he's the political lead, or a political lead to Alan Cheremanting of the Movement for Change. And so it's quite a packed show, and also quite seasoned, how do you call it, resource persons will be joining us on the show this morning. So I'll start with you. So we're talking close to 6,000 delegates, right? Yes. Who will be converging, they'll be convening, they'll be gathering in the meeting today. So it's a family gathering, sort of. Tell me, first of all, okay, so let me rather put it this way. Was today's event nearly threatened by the court action which was filed by one of your members? Even before you tell me about what's going to happen to it and its importance. Was it nearly threatened?
Oh, well, I don't see how today's event could have been threatened in any way. That's why I was explaining to you that, you see, they are decision-making bodies of every institution. And when it comes to decision-making bodies, there are levels or their degrees of it. When it comes to the National Executive Council, they are a step below the National Delegate Conference. But because in the constitution of the New Patriotic Party, we say and we stated clearly, without any doubt, that the National Delegates Conference, which comprises over 6,000 members or delegates, however you want to describe it, or executives, is the highest decision-making body of the party. So you then ask yourself that, what if that is the highest decision-making body or highest authority in the party? When you take a matter to court today, I remember when I was in the University of Ghana many years ago, and we took a matter on SRC to court. They told us that we should exhaust every available authority or option on campus. Then you first ask yourself, the person that took the matter to court, did the person exhaust all these options? Did you even go to NEC with a petition? If no, then you have gone outside the party to do what you want to do.
Right.
And this is a party issue. You have to petition the party first. So the moment I saw there was no petition to NEC or to the party, the general secretary, in whatsoever capacity the person did, I knew that, forgive me to say, it was bogus. And it was a waste of time. And you have to understand this, Moro, that at every point in time, there are people that will always want to drag the progress of the party behind. they will say that they are members of the party, but they would. Well, when it comes to this National Delegates Conference, one of the things I'm sure you've also heard is that people are asking why the rush. But it's important for us to state clearly that this is not rush. This is responsibility. And I'm saying so because every serious political party, even after winning an election, will do 4 major things. We'll do a self-introspection, which we call the reflection. We'll do what we call the restructuring. If their structure is good, they'll make some tweaks here and there. The next thing they would like to do is reorganization. Then, what next? They are looking at how they can reposition themselves for the next election. And so, if MPP is doing this, we have to be very grateful and applaud the leadership of the party. There's a saying in Twi that, and if you're a serious person, you understand that Ghanaians are watching you. Whether you want to win 2028 election, it starts from yesterday, not even today. So if you hear people, oh, why the rush? It seems that they don't understand what we have ahead. You do not take 2 years to win an election. Let me give you 2 classical examples, even one in Ghana. You remember when President Trump lost the election in 2020? Right. You know what happened? We students of international politics realized one thing. His team started becoming aggressive, even to the extent that one of his guys called Baron or so was arrested, sent to jail, because the guys realized that the very moment they lost the election was the moment the work started. Let me give you another classical example. Do you know how NDC in opposition had a Speaker of Parliament who was in power? When they lost the 2020 election, they reorganized themselves quickly. If it wasn't so, they wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. So reorganization starts from the very day you win or lose an election. And so when you sit down and tickle yourself that you are hoping in any way that you are given it time, what time are you? What time do you have? Who even told you you do have time? Right. And you think you have time, and the other political parties will be waiting to look at you. So I was having a conversation with Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, and he's like, Kumi, we have to bear in mind that the MPP is not reacting to a defeat. We are rather responding to purpose. And what's the purpose? Democracy, discipline, service, and unity. That's the core values of the MPP. And that is the purpose we have to respond to. So all these issues of is a rush and all those things, I think some people have to do their homework well and come back to us.
I see. So you've told us essentially what the essence or the relevance of today's event is. And you've also responded to critics who felt that perhaps the party is rushing through things. And as far as you're concerned, there's no better time than now.
Yes.
Because as a political party, you need time to reorganize and, to be able to compete favorably in the next elections and so on and so forth. And you've also, you basically dismissed the fear that yesterday some harbored, that perhaps the election was going to be, the elections yesterday was threatened by the lawsuit. There was some uncertainty in the minds of some persons about whether it was going to happen today or not. And you're saying that when you heard about the suits, and you also spoke to a few people, you came to one firm conclusion, which was there was no way the court was even going to entertain that because there have been precedents, and so there's history to this. So that's fine. Let me also say that I'll take the preliminary comments from Mr. Theophilus Jimega, who is also here with the NDC, and I know that he's going to definitely share some solidarity message with you, isn't it, Mr. Jimega? Or, your thoughts have nothing to do with solidarity message?
Good morning to your viewers and those listening wherever they are.
Okay.
And good morning to my fellow panelists here. Let's put certain things in perspective. One, my brother on the other side said when he heard about the injunction, he laughed at it because this is a highest decision-making body. You see, you cannot shut the door to anybody from going to court. is a basic, fundamental, constitutional privilege or right that the person, anybody will enjoy. Now, I am not sure he read the processes filed in the application for an injunction. If he had read it, he would have appreciated some other things that the guys raised. One of the things they raised, which I believe that he will confirm, is that before, by the way, this annual conference is not new. It is already in their constitution, but they've not been having it. It's in the constitution already. And it says that before an annual conference, there shall be a constituency delegates conference. Before an annual conference, there shall be a regional delegates conference. These two had not been done. These were some of the young men or women, whoever filed these processes, were looking for. That having not done the conditions precedent to the Congress, then the Congress itself is not taking place in a good atmosphere. So for me, I believe that if he had read it, but the history of MPP would tell me that there was no way they were going to respect that. You see, if it was going to be a thing that they are going to have, let's say, elections today, then if such a process was served on the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission says that they will not attend to conduct and supervise the election, they would have stopped to say, hold on, let's deal with this. It doesn't mean that for the fact that it's the highest decision-making body, nobody can take them to court. No way. Now, I think MPP is still going through the cycle of bereavement, and they quickly want to raise from the valley of depression. That's why they are doing this. But what they're doing is nothing new. All political parties try to, after a defeat, try to say, hey, let's organize quickly and see how we can catch up. Now, if you are following even the opinion polls that are going around, when their flag bearer was hovering around 60-something% within the party, he got about 40-something within national. Now, opinion polls are saying he's hovering around 51. It's likely he might go below that in national election. But you see, you can do all the fanciful conferences and everything, but every election is a referendum on the incumbent.
Absolutely.
Every election.
In fact, it is the incumbent that loses.
That loses.
Usually the opposition doesn't win.
Doesn't win. Every election. So, what if the things continue as we are seeing now, and you have to do a referendum on the current government, they don't have any chance. You can do all the fanciful branding, rebranding, and everything. But if the economy is bad, majority of people will say, let's look at people who are responsible for the bad nature of the economy. Are they also living like us? Are they also feeling it? If they are feeling it, then we can forgive them. But if they are living opulent lifestyles, things that we hear about previously, like, oh, they are flying and buffing in the sky, etc., then they will say, hold on, these people cannot tell us to tighten our belt. Meanwhile, they are doing otherwise. So all the fanciful branding and everything, unfortunately, might not yield a lot.
That is not, I hope you're not suggesting that because typically, and that's the literature will always tell us, that incumbents lose elections and not opposition that wins an election. It means that a party should not rebrand, reorganize, restructure?
No, I am saying that.
Is that what you're suggesting?
No, what I'm suggesting is that the incumbent is mindful of some of the things we are talking about.
Yes.
So no matter how you rebrand yourself, it might come to naught. Because
but you're not taking away the importance of doing it.
To me,
it's not important.
It is not as important as what the incumbent. Remember, I'm talking for the incumbent.
I get it.
Yes, remember.
No, but there must be. But you must stand for a certain principle.
Yes, yes.
What's the principle here? When the MDC lost the 2016 elections,
yes,
right?
Good.
The MDC did not say that at the end of the day,
let's wait until they fail.
Let's wait until they fail.
No,
you still rebranded, you reorganized, you did a lot of things correctly, and we saw the results in 2020, we saw the results in 2024.
Exactly.
Similar thing that the MPP is doing.
But it means, therefore, that whilst NDC was doing the rebranding, going to the listening tour, bringing about the People's Manifesto, etc., the government of the day then was going into the arena of being the worst government we have ever seen, where several people wake up one day and they were told that all your bonds you have bought, you are not going to get any money. Wait until 15 years, 35 years, we will begin to pay you. So once the NDC was rebranding or branding, whichever way you want to put it, the incumbent was not paying attention to what was going on within the opposition.
Okay, so you're saying that...
So what I'm saying is that whilst they are doing their rebranding, the NDC is high alert. And I told you the other day that we are in the 7th month of the government, and there had been no scandal. And they are so boring, we can't jump on something and laugh at them. Okay? That means that they are so careful. So whilst the branding is good, you can do all that. I am warning you that the current administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on high alert, trying to do the best. That at least the minimum they want to do is to leave a good legacy for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Then when the economy goes this way, your rebranding and branding or whatever will come to naught.
It's reorganizing.
Reorganizing and branding will come to naught. So, yes, you can go ahead, do all these things, but the electorate will look at what is good for us. What is happening at the moment? If the economy goes on this way, things are stable, prices come down from time to time, and there's election tomorrow morning, they will not look at whoever you are presenting. They'll say, come on, these people are giving it to us. Let us go on. You see, the Ghanaian electorate is quite good. They have toyed with, if I use the word toy, they have played with all of us. Okay? They have played with the MPP, they played with NDC. At the stage, they say, let's give you equal and see how you will behave. Then when they even gave the equality to all of us, they saw that some was misbehaving more than the other. Then they say, okay, look, let's give one to test and see how they also behave. And so far, those who have been given the tutor seem to be working right along the tutors they have been given. So if that is going to bear fruit, then whatever happens in someone's farm will not be necessary.
So you don't wish them well?
I wish them
well. As they reorganize, as they restructure? Them well.
May their roads be rough.
Okay.
I wish them what I wish for myself. However, come tomorrow with the path that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is leading.
Okay.
I don't see them coming to anything.
I wonder how Alfred will respond. I'll come back to Alfred on this, because what he's saying is that you can reorganize and restructure and rebrand and do whatever you need to do, but for as long as the NDC continues to do well in the eyes of the general public, it will come to naught. I think that's the point he's making. So let me bring in Anaya Sapong. Anaya Sapong is with Alan's movement for change. It's actually it's a special aid, for political aid to Alan Chedamanting. Let me pick his thoughts on this. I mean, Anaya, once upon a time, you were with this family. I'm wondering what's been going through your mind. Yeah, you've moved on. Yes, we know that. But once upon a time, you were with this family.
I've moved on.
Right.
A very good morning to your viewers, and good morning to yourself and your producers and my senior brother and my colleague here. As you had said, of course, I had played various roles in my ex-WAL party. I mean, from the very grassroots level, way back when I was a student I started doing that politics when I was in Tamasco. At the time, the late Mustafa Ali Idris,
the former Works and Housing Minister.
He was a Tamale Central MP. Right, so it was just in front of my father's house that we used to meet. The likes of Lawyer R.I., the late Lawyer R.I., who was the Dubois' running mate.
Right.
And I'll use this opportunity to extend my greetings to the kinds of Alaji Wafa, also in Tamale. These are very key people. Those days when you could not wear an MPP t-shirt in Tamale, some of us used to wear. And so sometimes when I hear people say that they are MPP and they have made Northern love MPP, I laugh. I said, where were you those days? You were there. You could have worn t-shirts and held party flags, but you couldn't have. But some of us did. And I continued when I went to Tamale Polytechnic. And the likes of Anta would testify, just the outgone finance minister.
Right.
He was MC, became deputy minister for Northern Region, came back at the time, Boniface Abubakar Sadiq. You remember the days of the Dagbon crisis. when he became regional minister, the late former Greek minister who was from Bono, the Tano MP, is it Ernest? I've forgotten his name. So we've played our part and we paid our dues through to when we came to Bono and Hafo, and we've been there up till we came here. So we've paid our dues, and the NPP then had a tradition. You understand me? And any organization that has the desire to survive, that has the desire to grow, that has the desire of living on a legacy, maintains its tradition. I had one of the communication director. I don't know if it was the main communication director. Oh no, sorry. What's his name? No, Smart Sapon.
Oh, Smart Sapon. Well, he's not a member of the NPP's communications. He's a lecturer.
He's a lecturer. Okay.
Yes.
A political science.
At Kumasi Technical University.
What does he lecture? I don't think he does political science. Does he?
I may have to check.
You have to check.
He's a head of research. Right? Yes, Smart Sapon.
No, I know he does research. I mean, once you are
in what area?
Because when he made mention of the fact that he was trying to play down the reasons people are giving for the maintenance of a tradition within an organization, and my heart was saddened.
Why?
Let us bring it home. Let's move away from our political organization.
Professor Smart Sapong is an associate professor and a senior research fellow of the Kumasi Technical University's Institute of Research, Innovation and Development.
Okay.
IRID.
Okay.
He's a professional statistician.
Okay, he deals with numbers.
Yeah,
of course. So numbers change.
And
numbers. I just wanted to state it on record that numbers.
Data management consultant with several years' experience in designing quality statistical, social, child labor, gender, economic, agriculture, job evaluation, and market.
That is why he would play down tradition. A tradition should not be played down. Ashantis are Ashantis because they have maintained their tradition. Any organization or any ethnic group or any group of people that tends to dilute its tradition loses its history, loses focus, and becomes unstable. Better still, somebody will say unstable. My brother, traditions are to be maintained. Traditions is what helps an organization to grow. I do not think tomorrow, if we come to Metro TV and you have so much change that certain things you used to do that made you Metro TV.
You won't recognize Metro TV.
You won't recognize Metro TV. I do not think that tomorrow, I'm sorry I have to use some organizations, forgive me, I'm not advertising for them. If you've walked into KFC and you have tasted their chicken and it is changed in taste, you would call it KFC. You won't walk in there to buy KFC again.
Right.
You understand? If you come to Dagbon and we have diluted our tradition, I do not think that you recognize that that is Dagbon. We enskin in the north. Tomorrow, because of modernity, if you come and we are enstooling in Dagbon, would you not be surprised? Tradition ought to be maintained. Yes, tradition has to be improved to meet modernity. But that does not mean tradition is changed. That does not mean we should change tradition. We have a constitution. We have a convention. We have processes. I don't know if you had the pain in which our own grandpa, former President John Ejekun Diewokufo, made his statement. Moro, did you hear him? He spoke out of pain. Out of pain. Moro, this is a man that suffered for the party, that took the party into government for 8 good years. You cannot mention the democracy of this country, the turnaround of Ghana's economy, our infrastructural and industrial development, without mentioning the name of John Ejekum Diewokufo. The man that made NPP so much attractive to most of us, the youth. Heard the pain in his voice. Moreover, we left the NPP for the same irresponsible actions, trying to pervert our tradition and our constitution, where a group of people, handful of people, took the party's rules and regulations and put it in their own pocket, doing what they want with it. I mean, listen, when an organization faces a defeat or loses a battle or loses out in market, this was so much of an embarrassing one for that matter. What that organization does is to sit aback, think through, regroup, try to regroup, restructure, and then you move to face another day. We should.
But isn't that what today's event it's all about?
You look at the elements that led to your defeat, and you pick them one after the other and deal with it.
Right.
That is why the framers of the Constitution give that space. So, number one, this unity was what led to the defeat. Number two, arrogance of power. Number three, neglect. Number four, the players called the cabals. And so if you would want to do restructuring, Moro, do you not agree with me that you ought to be able to pick these things one after the other? The issues of accountability, the issues of lack of stakeholder engagement, to which an ex-president who is supposed to be the lead, one of the leads for this man on these issues. Do you think there would be any reason why President John Ejekum Kufuor would travel out of this country when we are going to have they are going to have such an important conference?
You have no idea how pressing his decision to travel is.
You are speaking too much English. What are you talking about?
Maybe he's not
well.
Please.
Well,
maybe.
What are you talking about?
If he's not well, you mean he was not well just within this period? He wasn't informed.
Why? So okay, let's admit what you're saying. So do you think that, yes, if he's not well and he has traveled, we are admitting, you understand?
Yes.
We are assuming without admitting for that matter.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Senior is looking at me. But I would have to say, you see, let's assume that he's not well.
Yes.
Why then would they send a 5-member delegation to London to go and meet him? He was in Peduasi here. He called you didn't go. And you are saying you are sending a delegation to London to go and meet him. So somebody who is not well, and he's gone, let's assume. That's what I'm saying, that you can't tell me that he's not well. These are the issues we should be looking at. We don't rush into some of these things. Moro, let's look at the proposals for the amendments that they are going to look at.
That's going to be the next leg of our
conversation. Just a quick one. I just want to chip him. I'm concluding. Okay. I'm concluding. Let us look at those issues. Today, if they admit and indeed go to elect a flag bearer, as in January they want to do? Are they going to start campaigning? Is the flag bearer going to start campaigning? Why don't you go down there? The grassroots felt neglected. We will talk to them. Put them together. People at the top felt, and indeed it was true, the play role of the cabal. Have you been listening and reading the notes and the writings of Ajaku, Honorable Ajaku? Everybody, both the top, the middle, the down, is singing almost the same song, but for the few who wants to cause what I call internal coup d'etat. I mean, why would they want to do this to their generations?
Okay. These are
personally, I wish them well. Of course, I wish them well as my former party.
All right.
We need them to survive as against what we from the Movement for Change will be doing to them in 2028. I wish them to survive, to live to see. The Bible says that He prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So if they are not surviving, how would they see the prosperity I will go through? They need to survive it. You understand? Now, it would help them and give them time to rethink. The second reason why I wish them well is because, of course, as my father, who is the chairman of the committee, Dewise, and I would not want him to fail in the organization of the conference. So, of course, so that they don't mention his name in the bad books. So I wish them well. I wish them well. But this is much ado about nothing, because those who took the decision at the National Executive Committee, the way and manner in which those who attempted to object the agenda that was going to be set or put on today's table,
right,
were shut in the room. It is the same group of people who are going to sit up there to chair and manage the conference.
Okay.
And so if they have taken their decisions in their rooms already, there is no amount of noise that the grassroots is going to make that they are going to hear.
Okay.
But we will deal with the proposals one after the other when we get there.
Okay, so
but
that's,
of course, I wish them well. It's an unwholesome process,
okay,
but we just would wish them well.
All right. So let me say that the idea is to pick or to get the preliminary thoughts or comments of our resource persons, and then we can get into some more specifics. One, about the timing. Alfred Abibiokumi has expressed his thoughts about the timing. As far as he's concerned, the timing is great, it's fantastic. I'll pick the thoughts of the others as well. Let me also say that Mr. Kwabena Sapon has joined us. Mr. Kwabena Sapon is also a stalwart of the New Patriotic Party. He is, occasionally when he has time and is in town, he joins us on Inside Pages. And I told you that this is an extended version of Inside Pages today. I will be here till 12 p.m. and then Annie Ifwampofu will be taking over from 12 till the end of the event. So we have a bit of time today to look into more specifics, the issues that have come up as far as today's conference is concerned. Remember that this conference is a prelude, or it's a precursor to what is supposed to happen on the 31st of January 2026. That if nothing changes in terms of the date, because I've had two different opinions where one says once National Council has settled on a date or has set a date for the party's Congress, which is the 31st of January, not even conference can overrule it or can overturn it. There are others who say, no, per their reading of the party's constitution, once the conference is the highest decision-making body of the New Patriotic Party, it can overrule whatever decisions are made by the other organs of the party. So I'm hearing two different opinions on that matter. And it would have been interesting to pick the thoughts of Frank Davis, who's the head of Legal and Constitutional Committee of the New Patriotic Party. If we were to get him on the show this morning, we'll be speaking to him to give us something more definitive on this matter, because even the party people are debating it and arguing and splitting hairs over exactly what that means in terms of the powers of the conference over council and the council's powers or exclusive rights that he has over conference. But Commander Sapon is also here. Let me, before... You give me what you think should be the answer. Anyway.
Some of us have been members of regional subcommittees, we've been members of committees at the regional levels, and so we are not far away.
Okay, from the knowledge of that.
From the knowledge of the process.
That's fine. That's fine. Let me just say that 0249 155 646 0249 155 646. That's our WhatsApp line. If you want to join us, please reach us on 0249 155 646. At some point, we'll also be speaking to an associate professor at the University of Arts, Arts and Media and Arts or something like that. Yeah, it's UNIMAT. That's I'm talking about Dr. Eche Sikanku. He will also be joining us at some point. He's also the author of Afrocentric Obama, and so he knows exactly what he's going to talk about. I mean, he understands the whole idea of a conference and a congress, again, drawing lessons from what happens outside Ghana, which is the United States of America and some other jurisdictions. So, Mr. Kwamna Sapon, good morning. And I want to thank you very much for joining us. It's been a while, Accra. Long time.
Long time.
Yes, you've been hiding, you've been watching from afar, you've been observing from afar, and I know you have a lot to share. For you, as someone who's been with this party for many decades, what does today's event mean to you and for you, judging from the party's performance in the 2024 elections and also the timing? So if you can put the two together, what does this mean? How important is this exercise? And how would you describe success? What are some of the things you want to see happen today that would say we didn't go to waste our time as a political party at a friends University of Ghana, Legon, or this has been productive, this is good, and you think that with these, the party is well grounded to do the right thing? So perhaps 3 questions in one. I don't know how you're going to yes, analyze this, but timing, importance of this. What have you been reflecting on?
Well, Moro, what we are going to do today must be made clear to each and every one of us. Everybody who is listening or who is interested in MPP must know the objective and the purpose of today's function. Right. After the defeat, the miserable defeat, we were whipped like a parent whipping his kid. We've never suffered such a defeat before in our history. Not at any point in any election has MPP suffered such a defeat. Okay? We lost almost every region. As far as I'm concerned, we won only one region. That is Eastern region. To me, we lost Ashanti region. For MPP to NDC to secure about 7 seats in Ashanti region means, to me, Kwabena Sapon, we lost it. There's no question about it. So it's a very serious defeat. And what happened after defeat? Everybody was saying, no, we've got to do something. We got to rebrand the party. We have to find out why we lost. Everybody knows why we lost. Right. I don't think there's anybody in MPP who does not know why we lost elections. We did. Right? So, what our leaders decided to do after hearing a lot of them was, first, we have to amend our constitution. And the greatest thing that people were talking about to amend the constitution was to change or expand the electorate, the delegate system, expand it. So we formed a committee to receive suggestions to amending the constitution. Committee brought its report. The party put it together, and it's a 300-page constitutional amendment. You know how many pages our constitution is?
Yeah.
68.
Whoa.
And we have an amendment that covers 300 pages. We must as well write a new constitution. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the party history is such that when they receive all those amendments, they put it together, sit down and group them, okay, into what we call it motions.
Right.
So this 300-page amendment report has been reduced to 56 motions. 56 items. That is 56 amendments. That's what is going to be decided on at the conference. Not the 300-page that you see that went around. We've reduced this to 56. We will debate every item one by one, from 1 to 56 at the Congress. Proposition 1 is read out and we debate it. Amendments can even be made today. And when it is debated and any amendments taken into consideration, then we vote on it. We move to Proposition 2. We repeat the same thing. We will do that until we exhaust all the 56 propositions. And listen, each proposition will entertain an amendment at that place. And this is the basic thing that we are going to do there. Okay? Now, the party constitution says that when we are voting...
I would have to beg you, our reporters on the ground have, actually one of them has, one of the organizers of the event, they just want to do a quick interaction with them, and then I'll come back to you just for a few minutes. So please relax and we'll do. So my colleague Ifo Ando, so I'm told, is with Kojopo Nkrumah at the venue grounds. Let's listen to that interview.
At a time like this, it is normal to have several camps searching for power. We've had a leader for about 16 years, Nana Akufo-Addo, and whenever you have a leader that long and that leader is no longer present, there's a scramble for power. That's understandable. But one of the ways to solve that is to be quick in identifying who the next leader is. And that's why Council in its wisdom said by the end of January we should be able to settle on who the presidential candidate is. And then also at today's conference we hope to settle on the question of who is the leader of the party. Most likely the national chairman of the party, whether we're in power or in opposition. That should give us a certain base to quickly unite and then run forward. Another matter is also how we conduct ourselves during this campaigning series. There are people who want to be very divisive and acrimonial in this campaign period, and we're encouraging everybody that, yes, sell your message, but don't attack one another, so that when we finish, we can unite and move forward.
And what message are you sending to loyal supporters who feel disillusioned after the party's loss?
This is not the first time that we have been on the back foot. But if you look at the history of our party, right from the days of the United Party and how we have overcome challenges that we've been through, it's by coming to the table with humility and a certain concerted effort to work together. One man cannot fix this. It is about all of us understanding that we have to come together to work together in pursuance of the common goal. We think that that message, as our people understand it some more, we will be able to work together despite the various interests, and working together achieve the common goal.
And what role do you see youth and women playing in the leadership of the party?
Say again?
What role do you see women and youth playing in the party?
I mean, women have been a very strong pillar when it comes to putting the home together. Unfortunately, because of the nature of politics, we haven't been able to have a lot of women at the forefront of our game. And we are working to encourage a lot more women to step up. We are also working to support those who are stepping up. so that they, when given a lot more dominant roles, can bring their natural competencies to bear to help us glue this house together.
How is the party addressing concerns from the grassroots about, disconnect from the party? How are you addressing it?
So you notice that in the amendments we want to make today, we want to tighten the connection. Places like at the electoral area level where there was one coordinator who, if he's not available, then there's a disconnect. We want to fix it by having a whole electoral area executive team. We want to broaden the polling station team. In fact, if you look at the recommendations that will come to the floor, we want to open it up to one man, one vote. But it will be a gradual process before we get there. And we believe that this gradual process and then the eventual opening up will help us tighten the connect to the base.
What more should we expect today?
Well, a lot of reflection. We're expecting that the over 5,000 delegates who are coming from across the country will use this as an opportunity to reflect on where we are, what has brought us here, what we need to do to get out of it. Yes. This is a party that was built on selflessness. This is a party that was built on sacrifice. It's a party that was built on service. The truth is that over the years, we've lost a lot of it. Let's be bloody honest. Somebody may not like to hear it, but that's the truth. Over the years, people have been more motivated by money and personal interest and other things. We want everybody to go back to our values of sacrifice, of selflessness, of service. And we believe that these values of integrity and other such values, if we bring them back to the fore to guide us, even how we relate to one another will be guided by a certain common objective, which will then make us a lot more attractive than we are currently.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayuribi, Kojo Ponkrumah there speaking with us. We'll get some more members of the party to speak to later.
Well, the New Patriotic Party was a party that was founded on selflessness, service, and sacrifice. Unfortunately, the party has lost a lot of it, as Kojo Ponkrumah has just said to my colleague Ifua Ando, who is on the grounds with the likes of Vanessa and a few others. And from time to time, we'll be going back to the fields to pick their thoughts, or to pick the thoughts of some persons who are attending this all-important event. And that's the NPP's National Delegate Conference. Not a congress, my colleague journalist. This is not a congress. A congress elects party officers, from the constituency up to the national, and a flag bearer. So it's not a congress, it's a conference. Okay, all right. So come back in house. I have Mr. Kwabena Sapon, who is a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Simpliciter, or simply put, and also Mr. Alfred Abebi-Okumi, who is also one of the youth activists of the New New Patriotic Party. Actually, a very active youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Also have Theophilus Jimega, who is the Jimega Jr., a lawyer, an engineer as well. He's with the NDC. I said to you that they are very good friends. Never mind the banter or the give and take, or the disagreements, or the debates that you often hear on TV or radio when we watch or listen to them. And also Mr. Nana Yao Sapon, who is a member of the Movement for Change. Now, it's interesting they're here because the Movement of Change, most of the members of the Movement for Change are members who used to be with the New Patriotic Party. I don't want to say it's an offshoot because it's a little tricky to say it's an offshoot of the New Patriotic Party. I've had a lot of my friends disagree with me when I use the word offshoot. So let's just say it's a movement which has been formed with the majority of members from the New Patriotic Party. So however you want to describe it, that's fine. So Mr. Kwabena, Professor, again, let me apologize for rudely interrupting. And it's just the nature of these types of coverage. From time to time, we would have to go to the fields because they give us a lot of pressure. Yes, but please go ahead. Carry on.
That's part of the game. And I
right. That's fine.
It's good.
We also know what's happening there.
Yeah, the listeners know what is happening on the ground.
Sure.
Now, I've just been corrected that instead of 56 amendments, we have 59 amendments.
Oh, 59 amendments.
Right. That is the 300 amendments or 300-page report was reduced to 59 amendment provisions. And this is what I've explained, what we are going to do with them. After we have debated each item, amendments and everything accepted, then we come to vote. And this is where we have to explain to the public. The Constitution says for each amendment to pass, you have to get 2/3 majority.
2/3 majority?
2/3 majority.
Okay.
That's what the Constitution says. And voting.
Okay.
Yes, so voting.
And voting.
Some can be present, but not.
Right. So 2/3 voting. Those who have voted, 2/3.
2/3.
Right.
Acclamation.
So those who are present and are qualified to vote.
Right.
Yes.
2/3 of those who voted must approve the amendment.
Okay.
Now, this is the Constitution.
Right.
But this is where one of the areas that the Constitution is one way or the other substituted by convention.
Okay.
Conventionally, we've never done the 2/3.
What typically happens?
We do yea, no. Yes.
Yea
no.
or nay?
Right. Acclamation.
Acclamation.
Oh.
That's what is done in Parliament.
Okay.
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 Convention. That's what we do.
Okay. But do you want that changed?
Well, at the moment, if you want to change, you can't.
Oh, it's late.
Not that it's late.
Okay.
Even when we had less than 300 delegates, we couldn't do convention. Okay. We couldn't do constitutionally.
Okay.
How much more when we have 5,000 delegates?
Okay, I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So changing to the strict constitution is out of the equation.
Okay.
Now, so what we will do there, each item will be decided by acclamation. And we would do that 59 times. Now imagine we were going for the constitutional strictness, that 2/3.
Okay.
And we have 5,000 people. When are we going to finish that kind of exercise?
Right.
Right? So conventionally, we will not. We will do by acclamation.
Okay.
So that basically tells us what we are going to do there. Okay? Other thing is that the General Secretary will read a report. The National Chairman will welcome us, open the Congress. General Secretary will read a report. And after that, we go straight to the business of the day, which is the amendment.
Won't the National Treasurer account to you how the party's money is being used? He will also do so. Okay.
The Treasurer, and the General Secretary, and the Chairman, they will give reports.
Right.
So these are the basics. What is not on the agenda, which has been a lot of, raised a lot of, a discussion among MPP, is the election of the flag bearer.
Okay.
It is not on the agenda. And I'll tell you why it is not on the agenda. If we have other matters, then somebody can raise other matters. Because if you go to a meeting and you have other matters, you can raise anything that concerns you. And when you raise it, it will be discussed. But there's no other matters on it. So
do you know why it's not added to the agenda?
It's not, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. There's a difference between the National Council and the Delegates, National Delegates Conference, which is the highest body.
Okay.
It's just like they set up the rules and the laws of the party. Okay, they set up. It's just like the board.
Right.
When they set up, when the board sets up the policies and conditions and rules, who manages it? Is the management, right? So the National Delegates Conference has made a law in our constitution that the election of flag bearer must be done when we are in opposition, not more than 2 years before the election. In other words, you cannot do it 1.5 months, 1.5 years before the election. You cannot do it 1 year before the election. You cannot do it 9 months before the election.
Yeah.
You have to do it at least 2 years before the election. So you can do it 3 years before the election. You can do it 3.5 years before the election. That is what the National Delegates Conference has set up, which is stated in the Constitution when we are in opposition. Now, it is left with it is an application of that law. And then the same Constitution says the body that can set a date within this period. Let's look at it well. A body that can set the date within this period. That body is not the steering committee of the National Executive Committee. It's not the National Executive Committee. It's not the chairman of the NPP, but rather the National Council.
It's their exclusive right.
As the exclusive right of the National
And nobody
Council.
can change it.
And nobody
no
can
party
change
organ can change it.
No, because it says you can fix it 3 years before the election, 3.5 years before the election, 2 years that the latest you have, 2 years before the election. So you have 0 or 3 years or 3.5 years to 2 years. Anytime that decision when to do it is reserved only to the National Council and not to anybody within the party. Nobody.
So any delegate who qualifies to vote, who decides to raise the matter at conference, would be engaging in an exercise of futility. Then.
Futility. That is
You're wasting your time.
That is why it is not.
Even under any other business.
Was stating categorically that on the sheet, there's nothing like any other business. So you will not get an opportunity to
even raise your hands and say, okay, we've done, but I have a problem. I have a concern.
I mean, we don't have much time that day to do all the business.
Right. Because amendments alone will take a lot of time.
A lot of time. So
I would have time.
No, I'll bring you. So
it's not a monologue.
Stop
for you to
chip in something and so on. It makes it interesting.
I just want to make a small interjection.
Okay.
Now, number one.
Yes.
The National Council is subject to the National Delegates Conference. As Senior Sapon was saying,
yes,
when the National Council has made a proposal, or quote and unquote, taken a decision at their meeting, all those decisions are subject to the approval of the National Delegates Conference.
See, that is where you are wrong.
It's constitutional.
No.
It's constitutional. So just a quick one. Let me land.
Where you are wrong.
Let me just land.
Let me explain where you are wrong.
Okay.
The National Conference has stated that the decision has stated when a decision, primaries, presidential primaries, has to be made.
Yes.
They have given a period, and the board has said managing director has to determine the date within this period.
Yes.
When that then can happen. When the managing director makes a decision, we don't go back to the board to say, this is what I've said, do you accept it?
But can't the board have a say on a decision that the MD has made to say, yes, you have the right? But we think that this is wrong.
That is why the board has given
the powers,
the prerogative
to the MD,
to the chief executive.
I get it, but doesn't mean the board cannot overturn it. The fact that we give you powers.
That is what I'm saying.
Yes.
If it is raised through other matters, then it can be discussed.
Yeah, but you've just told me that there isn't even an opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. So at this time, it is not, because the Delegates Conference or the party feels that decision is the prerogative of the National Council. And mind you, the National Council is made of over 100 people.
Right.
55, at the moment, it will be more than 55. When you were 10 regions, we have 55 members from each region.
Now it's 16, so there will be more than 55.
So now we have 16, so we have more. We have 20 MPs, right? 20 MPs. We have National Council of Elders on there. We have past national chairmen. We have past general secretaries. We have past presidents. Okay? On there. So if the National Council is not just one person, all the current voting members of the National Executive, 22 of them, are members of the National Council. So the National Council is a representative of the people's choices, because all these people are elected by the grassroots.
Okay.
The grassroots elect the general, the constituency executives. They elect the regional executives. They elect the national constituency executives. Constituency executives elect the regional executives.